What's up guys, this is Rafa. So thriller is probably my favorite genre. I've read so many thriller books over the years that I thought it'd be fun to come up with a list of some of my favorites that I think would be great for beginners just discovering and getting into this genre. These recommendations are going to be easy, fast-paced books that hold your attention. They're easy to get into, but they're not super scary or intense, making them perfect for beginners. And I'm going to do my best to recommend books that I think fit different types of readers, so hopefully you'll find something on this list that you might enjoy regardless of whether you normally read thrillers or not. So the first book I recommend is Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. This is the book that I credit to kickstarting my obsession with thrillers, so obviously I think it's the perfect book if you're just starting off. This is about a girl who gets paid to apartment set this unit in this really expensive apartment in New York City, but then she learns that the woman that was in this unit before her mysteriously disappeared, and there's just something really wrong with this place, including the residents who live here. There's also these weird rules she has to follow, like she can't leave at night, she can't have people over, and she can't talk to the residents that live there. This book is creepy, fast-paced, and just the perfect beginner thriller book in my opinion. And if you like books that are set in New York City as much as I do, and the show The Only Murders in the Building, then I feel like you will eat this book up. Next up, we have The Guest List by Lucy Foley. This is like your classic whodunit mystery. This takes place at a wedding on a remote island off the coast of Ireland. Every guest at this wedding has a crazy backstory, and they're all hiding some type of secret. And then we learn that somebody at this wedding has died, and we don't know who the victim is or who did it, so those are the two big mysteries in this. I loved the setting of this book. It's creepy, it's atmospheric, and the mystery kept me guessing the whole time. And this book is also being adapted into a limited series for Hulu, so hurry up and read it before the show comes out. If you like the show Dark Matter on Netflix, then I think you'll love The Passengers by John Mars. This story is about a question that I've always had, and that's what happens if a self-driving car gets hacked. In this book, not only are a bunch of cars hacked, but each one of them, including the passengers that are inside, are being filmed and broadcasted for the world to see. But it gets worse because the audience can decide one by one who to kill off. This book was so hard for me to put down, and I think about it all the time, especially as self-driving cars become more and more a reality. I have another Lucy Foley recommendation on this list, and that's The Paris Apartment. This is about a woman who moves into an apartment in Paris, and she's looking for her missing brother, and this was his last known location. Like Lock Every Door, the residents in this building are really sketchy, and they're not really keen on helping her find her missing brother, but it's pretty obvious they know more than they're letting on. This book is just so good. You get sucked into the drama and the lies of the residents, and you don't really know who to trust, and I had so much fun with the Paris setting, and the ending of this book is amazing. If you normally read a lot of contemporary or romance books, then I think you'd enjoy Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. This book follows a married husband and wife couple who book a vacation to stay at this remote, snowy cabin to kind of rekindle their relationship, but it's pretty clear from the beginning that they're keeping secrets from each other, and one of them might even be in danger. This book has so many crazy twists, and I wasn't even sure who I was rooting for by the end of it. This story has everything from the fast-paced storytelling to the crazy secrets and lies. You'll probably be glued from the minute you start this book to the minute you're done. I loved every second of this book, so I highly recommend it if you're a beginner, or even if you're not, go read this book if you haven't already. Keeping with the domestic thriller theme, I also recommend The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson. This is about a man and a woman who meet each other at an airport bar, and they start talking while they're waiting for their flights, and the man casually mentions that he thinks his wife is cheating on him and that he low-key wants to kill her. And then the woman's like, do it. I'll help. This conversation leads to so many twists and turns, and eventually you realize that you don't really know who to trust, and you don't even know who's going to survive by the end of it. If you enjoy a good YA story, then I recommend the Truly Devious series by Maureen Johnson. This trilogy is my favorite cozy fall and winter read. I binged the entire series, and I even bought the extended stories when they came out, so I'm obviously a little obsessed. In this story, we're following a girl who gets into this prestigious boarding school that you can only get into if you have some kind of talent. Kind of like the show Victorious on Nickelodeon, if you're familiar with that. Except in this school, it doesn't have to be performing arts, it could be any type of talent. For example, our main character, she wants to be a detective, and that's kind of why she decides to go to this school in the first place, because there's this big mystery involving the school's founder. The founder's wife and daughter were kidnapped and never seen again, and the only information we have was this letter that was signed by Truly Devious. And now in the present, our girl wants to solve the case, but while she's at the school, somebody is killed, and it might have been done by the same Truly Devious person. This series is a great cuddle up with a blanket kind of read, and the setting of this takes place on a mountain in Vermont, so you got that creepy, atmospheric, dark academia vibes. Next, if you like a book where the setting feels like a main character in itself, then I think you'll like Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. This is about a woman who takes a job as a nanny at this creepy gothic mansion. This isn't just your ordinary old mansion though, this is a smart house, and that kind of adds to the creepiness factor, because lights and music turn on when they shouldn't, and you're starting to wonder if there's maybe something supernatural happening. Oh, and by the way, the nanny is currently in jail for the death of one of the kids, and this whole book is actually a letter that she's writing to her lawyer about what really happened in that house. This book is probably the creepiest on this list, and it was a good suspenseful read. Now for a lighter, more fun read, I recommend Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers. I actually read this book very recently and loved every second of it. It follows this woman named Vera who owns this tea shop in the middle of Chinatown, San Francisco, and one day day she comes downstairs and finds a dead body in the middle of her shop. Unlike most people who'd probably be horrified, Vera is actually very happy about this discovery and makes it her entire personality to solve this case. She starts collecting suspects. Each person has a motive and some kind of secret they're trying to hide. This book isn't like the others on this list. You still have the mystery and the suspense, but now it's also really cozy and wholesome. I fell in love with all the characters in this book, and I was in tears one moment and then laughing the next. And I honestly just had such a fun time with this book and would recommend it to anyone looking for a cozy, fun mystery. Next, we have The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelandes. I feel like this is the current king of all recent thriller books. This is about a woman who shows up at a psych clinic after supposedly killing her husband, but she's refusing to say a single word. This book is told from the perspective of her therapist as he's trying to piece together what exactly happened. And I'm telling you, this book is amazing. The ending had me blown away. But those are all the recommendations I have for this video. Like I said, thriller is my ultimate favorite genre, so I'm sure I'll have many more recommendation videos to come in the future. If you've read any of the books on this list, let me know your thoughts, and if there's one book that you could recommend, what would it be? But yeah, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more from me, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!